I need a new villager trading hall. The one behind me is fine, but it can't really keep up with the amount of blocks I need anymore. Originally, I was planning on making some huge trading hall like most YouTubers, but there was something that stopped me. I like this place too much. It's my favorite place on the island, and going shop to shop, buying and selling stuff with the villagers actually makes trading enjoyable. So instead of making a new trading hall, why don't we just triple the size of this one, fill all the buildings with storefronts, and create what I think every trading hall should be. The first roadblock we have here is this big cliff that I built. I don't really like how it looks, and it's completely blocking the direction I want to expand the village in, so it's gotta go. I'm planning on re-terraforming this entire area and making a cliff that's probably about 3 or 4 times the size of this one, which is really exciting, but there's a small problem. This is my moss farm. Longtime viewers know I already had to destroy this thing and rebuild it because I built it facing the wrong direction, and I bet you can guess exactly what I'm about to have to do once again. That's right, we're tearing it down again, and we're probably just gonna move it another 30 blocks over. It is sitting in the exact spot where I want to build all these houses, so I don't really have a choice. Okay, so now we have a clean slate, and so far we've made negative progress on this episode, which is always nice. But I'm super excited to actually start working on the terraforming. So this area here is going to be more of a slope, like a gradual incline of grass, and then a super steep, super tall cliff going behind everything. It is going to involve a lot of terraforming and a good amount of blocks that thankfully we have access to. I'm thinking 2 shulker boxes of grass may be enough. We'll see. For now, I'm just going to hide all the moss farm materials. I'm totally going to forget I'm putting this here, but it's fine. All right, let's get started building up this hill. We've got the whole grass area, and this pretty much is all going to be filled with buildings by the end of this episode. Ideally, hopefully. But now we've got to make the cliff that's going to wrap all the way around. This thing is going to be really tall, probably twice as tall as the last one we had in here. And I've made this one quite a bit more detailed, which means we need a sort of different collection of blocks. We need a shulker of pale moss, shulker of light gray wool, a shulker of stone, which I would hope we have. Yeah, we definitely do. Shulker of andesite, which we should honestly, yeah, we have quite a bit of. This should even be enough. And then these blocks make our gradient. We just need one more, which is tough. I don't quite have enough tough blocks. Yeah, we only have a couple stacks right now. Last episode, I mined a lot of deep slate down here, which hopefully means we uncovered a good amount of tough. Looks like we did. And there we go. Now we have all 5 of our blocks for the sort of gradient that I'm doing. There are a little bit more detailed blocks. Like I'll get a row of moss, a row of mossy cobblestone, and then I need some azalea leaves, I think. Should have everything here. I kind of just eyeballed it. I don't know for sure if this is going to be enough materials. This probably could be even too many. I doubt it though. So let's go ahead and get this cliff built up. Our new cliff is in, and this one looks so much better. There's way more texturing and detail. It overall just looks less artificial, and of course, it is way bigger, so we have way more room to work with. Pretty much all of this area is going to be filled with these Italian buildings by the end of this video. The next thing I want to do is turn my attention to the roads. I've actually thought a lot about these roads. Our original roads here were made out of stone, and that was for a very particular reason. The point of the roads and the cliff both being gray is so that you kind of just ignore them and focus on the houses. Otherwise, there'd be way too much to look at. I do think the road can be improved on, though. I'm going to go back through and throw in some andesite and stone bricks and even some mossy cobblestone just to make it look a little bit better up close. I'm so glad I added all this detail to the roads. It improved them so much. And now you can get a better idea of how this layout's gonna be. These roads are gonna be surrounded with packed Italian houses, and all of them are gonna have different villager professions inside, as you know. However, before we get to those, I want to finish off the retaining wall here with a little bit of a communal area for all the villagers. And for some reason, I want to put a big fish tank here. I don't really know why. This has just been in my head for a while, so I'm gonna do it. I know I said I'm gonna build a fish tank, which I am, but there's something that's bothering me that I've been putting off for a long time. It's finishing the bottom of this harbor. That means I need to collect a lot of mud and also a lot of packed mud. Getting the actual mud is easy. That's not my problem. The problem is I don't really have a good source of wheat. I don't have a farm or even any fields on my island. So I usually just fly to mainland and explore for villages because those have a lot of hay in them. Oh, what? How rare is this? What? Once the update comes out, I'm gonna lock him as a baby forever, but right now I just gotta make sure he does not grow up. This guy is a 1 in 12,000 chance, according to Google. That is crazy. Let me mark down these coordinates. We're gonna have to come back for this guy. This is genuinely one of the rarest mobs in Minecraft ever. I can't believe I just found it. I'm gonna have to build like a whole building for him or something like that. That's crazy. Oh man, I'm gonna make a YouTube short about this. It's gonna get so many views. With all of our new hay, we can craft up all this wheat. I still can't get over the fact that we found that baby pink sheep and how rare it is. That is probably the coolest thing in this world right now. The next Minecraft update adds this flower, which you can feed to baby animals to keep them a baby, which is exactly what we're gonna do. So we can keep that guy forever. I need to do something I have never done in this world before. I want to set up a conduit. I think I know how to make one. Is this? Oh, that's too tall. And there we go. Actually, I need more on the side. There we go. We can now swim a whole lot faster. Don't have to worry about water breathing. And we can insta-mine. Perfect. Let's start by finishing up all the existing retaining walls. Just like we were doing by making the paths gray, making this down here really dark helps kind of draw your eyes away from it and makes you focus on the important stuff, the city. Or the other important thing, we've got this little circular cap to our wall over here, and this is where we're going to build our axolotl aquarium. It's a very unique design. I don't know if it really fits the style of this area, but to be honest, this whole world is a blend of different styles. So I don't think it really matters. Let's go and quickly find one of each axolotl type. Let's see if we can find some down here. A white one, pink one, yellow, and brown. Okay, let's add all these guys in and we'll slowly breed them over time and try to get the blue one someday. It is finally time to start building up these houses. I need to gather a lot of terracotta. The first thing I'm going to do is just block out all the shapes and then add the detail by hand. I'm guessing this is probably going to take 3 or 4 shulker boxes of terracotta because there are probably a good 20 to 30 buildings we need to make. This will be the easy part. The detailing of all of those is going to be a big project. Probably is going to take me a month. I mined 4 shulker boxes of terracotta, which probably almost definitely will not be enough. However, I'm just going to begin placing down the basic structures completely undetailed and see how far this gets us. We have all the bases of every single building built up here, and this is a lot. I want to theme each house for whatever villagers are going to be inside of it, which is something I need to figure out and then do each building one by one. Before any of that, I think it's a good idea to get the roofs put on. That's something that's not really going to change based on whoever's living there, and we'll actually be able to collect all the bricks in-house. We just got to take our iron, trade with villagers, and then head across the street and trade with all of these masons for bricks. That actually did not take that long, which proves why villagers are so important for this world. It's time for the really fun part, figuring out what's going to go in every single one of these houses and theming it around that villager. Let's start with this building here. This is our first library, which is going to have a portion of the librarian villagers. I'm going to start by putting in all the windows and all the shutters. I think for the floor in here, I want to use dark oak, strip dark oak, maybe, or maybe even regular dark oak. Okay, got this weird little design in. Now I gotta figure out how to kind of separate this into the different trading spots for each villager. I try to not make this look like the typical villager prison. I'm trying to give every villager like its own little like tables and stuff like that. And to contain them, I'm just putting minecarts. Here we go. This will be a couple of villagers. I decided to add a little second story to this build to give it a little more space, but let's speed this up and get the other 2 library buildings done. The first 3 buildings, our 3 libraries, are completely done, and I think this should give you a better idea of what we're planning to do here. Each of these buildings is a separate interior where it's going to have like 4 stations for villagers here, and then a couple more up here. Not exactly sure how I'm going to organize all the different trades yet, but our second one here has like 6 more, which is not bad, and it's got a completely different style. I actually like this rug that I made out of coral. I'm sure this is not original, but I like it. The third building right now has 5 more spots. It's pretty simple, but I did leave room on each level for more if we have more books we want to add, but I'm not planning on doing all the books or anything, just the essential ones. I think my favorite part of these might be the foliage we put out front. I like all the different things we used here. Anyways, this is going to be like a farmer's market, farming store kind of thing. We'll put some crops outside and inside. The building behind the farmer's market's going to be my butcher. I put some meat racks out front, and I tried to do the interiors as detailed as I could. The next little block I want to work on is these 4 or 5 houses here. I think I'm just going to design them like basic storefronts or townhouses. I'm not really sure what else a cleric would be. I decided to build all 5 exteriors at once. I even got to use resin bricks for the first time. It's been like 2 years and I'm finally using them. Because clerics sell a lot of potion ingredients, I decided it'd be a good idea to make this first building like a bar selling potions. For the other 3 buildings, I decided to make them redstone shops and then a nether building. I've got all 4 of the cleric buildings done. 2 of them are accessible up front, like this one. This is like a potion shop with this bar here. This store is just selling items from the nether, and I think this is pretty good for the theme of clerics since they have like different ender pearls and nether stuff. We have to go around back to access the other 2, which is this redstone store. Clerics sell redstone, the main thing I want them for. So I themed it around a little bit of a messy redstone shop where we'll have some villagers along this back wall here, as well as on this front counter here. That does mean we can check the cleric houses off the list. There we go. Next up is our toolsmith. I want to make this look like a little bit of a forge. Our toolsmith building here is complete. If we go inside, you can see we have a simple little interior. I tried to pack a lot of details into here, but essentially there's just a bunch of metal parts, a little smelter here, anvil of course, and all the spots for the villagers. Right next door, I wasn't sure what to do with this building here, so I decided to just make it my bedroom. This is just a place for me to set spawn if I want. Anyways, this blue building tucked back here, this is going to be our Fletcher's building. I'm not filling this big one yet. I'm not sure what I want to put in here. I'd like to have some space for the future in case I want to add more villagers. I'm sure I will. I think this one will also stay empty, but the rest of these all need to be filled. And I'm going to do this purple one next. This is going to be our cartographer house. And I've already done one over here, but I'm treating this one more like a map store. And the one down here is going to be more of like a cartographer explorers guild. It's actually one of my favorite interiors that I've designed. I've already pre-designed this one, and I'm really excited to build this one up. The map guild building is basically done. You can see we've mostly got the entire interior in. We've got this cool little spot under the stairs where all the villagers are gonna go. The one detail I do need to add is a bunch of maps scattered around the place. And you can see firsthand why it's so useful to have villagers, because we can just buy up a ton of these. For this map up here, we've got a telescope looking... I didn't finish it yet. I need an armor stand. We have a telescope looking out into the ocean. So I'm thinking, let's get a map of some of these islands over here. Looks good to me. I even like how there's the little ship on there as well. I think the map down here will just be a map of the village itself. On the wall over here, I've got this little mini mesa map, and then I have the medieval village map, which I think looks really nice. And that means this build is pretty much done. And we can move on to our final 4 houses here, which are a farmer, a weaponsmith, an armorer, and another farmer. The interiors of these final 3 houses are complete, almost complete. There's still some decoration I want to add. This building here is a toolsmith. I want to add a copper golem sitting there, as well as some tools on display. This building here is a weaponsmith. I want to have some tools hung up on the wall. Not sure how. I think this is fine. Yep, that looks good to me. This building here is going to be for my leather worker villagers. You probably didn't even know that was a villager profession because it's completely useless. But this is going to be like a clothing store kinda, and I'm going to have some leather armor stands in place over here. I'll put up some other leather items for sale as well, like saddles and bundles. And then this here is for my armorer villagers. So I want to have some custom armor sets. I grabbed some armor trims that we can use, and we're just going to kind of randomly apply these until they look interesting. And we're going to have armor stands scattered around here as well. There we go. I think all the armor trims were worth it. They had some cool variety, make this place a little bit more interesting, which means after a month of building interiors, we are finally done and we can start putting in the villagers. There's still a lot of details I want to do on the outside of the village, but for now, I just need to get the villagers in, which is going to be a bit of a process. So I've got this villager breeder all the way at spawn, and what I'm going to do is just take a rail right into a portal. Hopefully they should go straight through. We need to make a rail connecting to this portal right here. That's the Italian village. Alright, I got a zombie, and now he's in place, and if I get far enough away, he should kill all of them. There we go. Perfect. I think I just need to be standing here to make sure they don't lock onto a villager. They all should cure within about 30 seconds of each other, though. I know they trade redstone, lapis, glowstone, and at the final level, he trades XP bottles. Okay, I actually like that. I've never really used these before, but I think these are pretty good for XP. Now for the interesting part, transporting all these guys to their stations in the overworld. I don't know many people who would consider transporting villagers, killing them, curing them, transporting them to their locations to be a very fun process. This is arguably the most tedious thing in all of survival Minecraft. However, even though it's hours now, it's going to save me hours and hours in the future. And although there are more efficient ways to do a villager trading hole, as you know, I think this is by far the best way for my world. Trading with these villagers is not going to have to be a chore for me. It's like it's part of the world. And I know doing all of this now is going to be so worth it. Okay, I think we're actually done, which is crazy to say. Done with the villagers. We still gotta add all the details out here. That's gonna be the fun part. But first, let's actually see this place in action. So, say I wanted to sell some iron. I'd go in here, trade with all of these guys. Maybe I need redstone, so I head over here and buy a bunch from these guys. Or XP bottles, maybe. My next episode is going to be building our next map room, so maybe I should buy some maps right now, which I can do very easily. With all of these houses combined, we now have a very solid trading hall here, but it still could use a lot of work out front. First of all, I want to copy what I did over here and add a couple palm trees. There's not a ton of places to put them, but there's a couple places I want to put them, so let's do that now. There we go, nice and simple. Palm trees 1, 2, and 3. These are kind of tricky to make, but I feel like these are my favorite 3 that I've made. I really like the shaping I got on these. I'm very proud of these. That leads us on to this area here. I'd like to completely renovate this. I think it'd be cool to have a bigger common area here with some picnic benches and stuff like that. Try to add a little variety so it's not just the same as what's over here, you know? So let's rip out a little more of this grass and get to work. I'm trying to make these street lights look a little bit more like street lights, which I think is turning out well. But here is our new area. We have a couple of picnic benches with these umbrellas. And I also did this trick with the banners to make this one look folded down. I came up with this. I'm sure I'm not the first person to come up with it, but still, I think it's cool. And yeah, it gives us another nice common area for people to hang out in my single player survival world. Now, let's work on these open fields here. I don't want to do just grass like this over here. This is fine, but I like to do a little something more. I remember up here in my Mediterranean area, like by my starter base, I did these kind of flowering bushes with the different kinds of leaves. I think I'm going to carry it down here, actually improve the design a little bit, and I think it'll look cool. I think that was the last piece this area needed in order to feel complete, and I'm liking this now. I got the rest of the grass spam placed in to kind of make the area feel complete, at least. And with that, I can finally say that this Italian village is complete. It's been almost a year and a half in the making. I warned you in my last video there's probably going to be a long break between episodes, and there was, of like 3 months. That was almost entirely because I was finishing up my senior year, and now I'm graduated. I'm excited to say this is the beginning of a new era for this series and this channel. Finally treating this full time, and hopefully getting out way more videos and making so much more progress on this world. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me, and I will see you very soon.